Alright, so for problems like number 14, you have to match up that expression with the formula, with the right formula. So the first thing you notice is cosine, cosine, sine, sine. And then there's a minus right here in between the two terms. So then that means, again, if you look through your formulas, this one is equal to cosine of, cosine of pi over 8 plus pi over 4. Okay, because remember for cosine, the cosine formula, if this is a minus right here, then this has to be a plus over here. Okay, so combine your pi over 8 and pi over 4. So that's the same as cosine of pi over 8 plus 2 pi over 8. That's pi over 4, so that's 2 pi over 8. And so that's cosine of 3 pi over 8. Okay, and that's as far as you had to do because they want the exact value. 3 pi over 8 is not a special angle, so you would have to use a calculator to evaluate this, and that gives you an approximate value, not an exact value. So that's it for number 14. The other one that you guys asked for was number 19. Similar to, we're going to be using a formula just like 14. It's cosine of 300 degrees plus 225 degrees. So this is cosine A plus B. So the formula is, and again, it's just knowing how to apply the how to use the formula. It's, I'll probably use another line. Cosine 300 cosine times cosine 225 minus sine 300 times sine 225. Okay, so cosine 300, again, it comes from the unit circle, nothing new. This is something that you should know at this point. Everyone should know this one. So cosine of 300 is 1/2. Cosine of 225, that's going to be negative radical 2 over 2. Oops. Minus sine of 300, so sine of 300 is negative radical 3 over 2. And sine of 225 is negative radical 2 over 2. Okay, so then you simplify. So we get, for the first term, for this over here, we get negative radical 2 over 4. And then for this here, you have 3 negatives, so you get minus radical 6 over 4. And you could write it as a single fraction. So you get negative radical 2 minus radical 6 all over 4. And that's the answer for that one. Alright, so 22. They give you those two ratios, one for sine u and one for cosine v. They also tell you that both angles u and v are in quadrant 2, so you draw this angle here, quadrant 2. This is angle u, and so we know that always draw it to the right angle to the x-axis. Okay, so then sine u is 7 over 25, so that makes this 7 and this 25. Okay, go over to triangle or the other coordinate plane. So here I have angle V. Okay, so we're going to draw the triangle. Here's the angle. And for this one, cosine V is negative 12/13. So that means that this is negative 12 right here. And then this is 13 up here, the R, the radius. So then we know that this is 5, the Y value for V. And the X value for angle U is negative 24. Okay, so now we have all the information we need to fill in, to write down our numbers in the expression in the equation below. So let me go back and change the color. So sine u, they gave you sine u as 725, but again, you could look at it from the angle. And then cosine v, they gave you cosine v as negative 12 over 13, but again, you could look at the angle and get the information from there. Plus cosine u, so I'm going to look over here at angle u, I'm going to look over here, and cosine is x over r. So then I'm going to write negative 24 over 25. Okay, and sine v, I'm going to look at angle v over here, and sine is y over r, so that gives me 5/13. Okay, and so just simplify the expression. What you have right now, 7/25 times negative 12/13. That's going to give you, and I have my calculator, but I also have the answer here, negative 84 over 325. And then negative 24 times 5 is going to give you minus 120 over 325. Combine those, and your final answer is negative 204 over 325. That's the answer for that one. Alright, so number 24, we have a tangent. Think of it as tangent A minus B. So then that's tangent A minus tangent B over 1 plus tangent A times tangent B. Okay, so this this part right here is what we're trying to solve for. Okay, but in order to do that, you need to know what, of course, tangent A and tangent B are, right? So we're going to go back to this part of the problem right here, and that's going to give us that information. So remember, anytime you see inverse for a function, for a trig function, this, you should know that this represents an angle and this represents an angle. Okay? The numbers here are the ratios that correspond to that angle. So for a number, or for angle A, you have cosecant inverse of negative 13/12. Well, because it's a cosecant inverse, you know that it's going to be, and it's negative, you know that the angle is going to be in quadrant 4. And so you have 13 for the R, negative 12 for the Y. So then that means that the X is positive 5. Okay? So this is for A. For B, we know that because it's a positive ratio, 4/5, it's going to be in quadrant 1. And X is 4, R is 5, so that means that Y is 3. Now, how am I getting these numbers? Pythagorean theorem. Okay, Pythagorean theorem, that's all there is. For a right angle, if you're missing one of the sides, use Pythagorean. Okay, so now this gives me all the information I need. This is for angle B. I'll just label it up here. So tangent A, I'm going to look at, of course, this part right here. This is for A, angle A. So tangent of A, and I can just write it right here. Tangent of A is y over x, so it's negative 12 over 5. It looks really messy, but it's negative 12 over 5. Tangent of B equals y over x, 3 over 4. Okay, there's 3 over 4. So I'll just show the work right here. So negative 12/5 minus 3/4 over 1 plus negative 12/5 times 3/4. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to multiply everything by, this is 5 times 4, by 20. And by doing that, so everything by 20, I get rid of all the denominators. 20 over 20, and that's the division line right there. So I distribute the 20 to each term. So when I do this times this, the 5 goes into the 20 4 times. 4 times negative 12 is negative 48. And then I'm going to distribute the 20 right here with the 3/4. The 4 goes into the 25 times. 5 times 3, negative 15. Okay, in the denominator, I'm going to distribute the 20 with the 1. So 1 times 20, nothing cancels, so you just have 20. And then I'm going to distribute the 20 with this product right here. Remember, these are multiplied together. So the 5 and the 4 cancel out with the 20. So you're left with negative 36. So combine your like terms. Just combine your numbers. And we get, for number 24, negative 63 over negative 16, but then the negatives cancel, and you have 63 over 16.